Hey, what's up, y'all? I was trying to figure out how I was going to orchestrate this story time. I like to share with y'all when something is fresh and right there and immediate. Um, because there's thousands of story times I could share with you. So many that I don't even, it's frustrating to even think where to begin. But when they're fresh and immediate like this one is, from now on, I'm trying to jump on it so I can share it with you. Um, just a little while ago, I just got finished actually. Took me about 5 hours. It's 9 a.m. now. I start actually about five and a half. I started around 3:30 p.m. And just got finished shooting. So about 5.5 hours. Just to show you guys um, my talents. Um, what took about 5.5 hours, I'll put in a video for about 8 minutes at the most. But it's 5.5 hours. It's more than that once you start editing and doing all that stuff. It's probably another 5 hours just to bring you guys 6, 7, 8 minutes maybe of enjoyment of your day. And it shows off the God given talents, one of the God given talents that I have. It's actually many. It's in front of the camera and behind, but I'm deviating. I always do, digressing. Um, when I decided if I was to finish that a little early, which is actually a little earlier than I thought it would be, um, I was going to share this story time with you guys. And it's actually a two-part story time, but I'm going to make it as quick as I can. Um, as of late, I was thinking about how my mother's daughter, Mary Crockett, would constantly tell me how gifted I was and how brilliant I was. And I hadn't even really done anything yet. She was not my athleticism and all that stuff. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about or my book smart. I'm talking about she would pertain to my autistic, and I was keeping that a secret. I was going by the philosophy: don't tell anybody what you're doing until you're doing it, and that's what I was doing. But by that time, most people not most people who write and want to write a movie or whatever, most of them can muster up one in a lifetime. I've gotten about 8 copywritten. And I'm talking about blockbusters. I'm not talking about no little penny stuff. They made millions off my stuff. They've made billionaires off of selling my stuff to them and getting it made. I hate to talk about that kind of stuff because I don't want to lose you. Because it does sound fantastic, but it's the truth. But she used to tell me how brilliant and gifted and all I was, and even laugh in my face as if to say you'll never benefit from it. I know all this now in hindsight, but at the time I was thinking I'm not sharing my stuff with anybody. It's to my son. I didn't know they were getting it through some psychic or whatever. You know, I always tell you I don't know how this thing. All I know is it's psychic, it's satanic, and it can read my mind. As soon as I started thinking about saying this or sharing this story time just a little while ago, I started sneezing like crazy. And the first time, it's a demonic thing. And the first time that happened to me, I was bedridden right then and there for about a week. And then the next 2 weeks, we're just dealing with the flu. But it knocked me off my feet right away. I'm going to find that tape for y'all, that video for y'all. I happen to have my camera rolling. I was going to go to a town meeting. and speak to councilmen about my situation. They were letting me know all week with gestures and signs all around the building, we're not letting you go. You're not going to make it there. I was like, you watch. They were right. I didn't make it there. So I did watch it online, and all of the cultic gestures all through that town meeting, I knew why they shut me down, and I wasn't going. I didn't make it. And I always digress because there's so many branches on these trees that I can pick off of. Because my stories they just have a bunch of branches. But yeah, they hit me immediately. So I don't know if it's the demon or I don't even want to think that deep. All I know is I'm dealing with them in this apartment. But yeah, she would tell me how great I was and how brilliant and so gifted. And I didn't know they were getting their hands on my stuff at the time. I saw my stuff all around. And I thought maybe when I get them copywritten, registered and all, they were stealing my stuff. I didn't know it was my own ex-satanic family. So having said that, I just wanted to get that out the way. So you can know what I'm dealing with. They love credit for what they do. She called me brilliant, gifted, talented, everything else, and I didn't know why. I know now. So I got that one out of the way. That's a share. The other one is, I was looking through some old stuff, ran across some old stuff, and I had a good time. We all did. Even with the gangster stalker she sent my way, the actors or whatever, we had a good time messing around with prison mentality. We had a great time just making it and meeting up and acting and doing our thing. And at that same time, well, prior to that time, I was doing a play for Alan Clark. I brought him up like twice in the last week. They've been having him send stuff and put stuff on my page. So at one of his meetings, he called a real frivolous meeting. But I know, but at the time, a little while after that meeting, I understood why he called it, because they're all gangster stalkers. He called to say that he was about to start something called mental prison, which is close to prison mentality. So I'm listening to it, I did not know that as a gesture and how they do towards me to let me know. And so I just listened. At the time, with me, everything is, what a coincidence. And then later on, I realized it wasn't a coincidence. He was part of this. At the time, I still didn't know gangster talking. It took a while. It was not too long before I realized gangster talking and Satanism and the voodoo and all that. But I knew he was part of something. So we were supposed to go away again. They got me away one time in New York. Supposed to do it again, and I reneged on that. And I called it out on his group text or whatever. Mental prison is a joke. He's part of whatever I'm dealing with and blah, blah, blah. And long story short, because I want to make this long. So yesterday, and I'm going to show y'all the video. One of the videos is we did a fundraiser, me and one of the guys, the other protagonists for my screenplay. He was actually playing Money Black, and I was playing Preach. And we did a little skit for the fundraiser, which, by the way, didn't get a dime for that. And I like to show, when I say ex-family and ex-satanic family and all that stuff, my mother had 9 children. They had several children. that family on those people it's a very huge family. And so, and they sent me something. We're not gonna let you get bigger than us, or something like that. Um, but my point is, we did a skit for a fundraiser. Forget it's not go fund go. I forget what the name of the thing is. The fundraiser. Um, but we got $0. I got $0 because it's gangster stuff. Um, my point. I was going to put the video up. I'm going to put the video up. I'll probably put it up at the end of this. But the point of this whole thing, what spawned me to do this story time, is yesterday I went online and I saw, now this is what I was thinking the day before. This was the night before. I only go on my social media at night. The night before I was thinking, wow, I remember when Alan Clark called that meeting, fake meeting, at his apartment, just to bring up the fact about mental prison. And to me at the time, it was a coincidence. Wow. Me not putting together that all these guys is a collective group of this satanic cult. So I didn't put all that together. I should have. But so yesterday online, I'm going to show you what I'm talking about. Absolutely yesterday. That's why I tell you everything is mind reading. I didn't tell this to anybody. It's just what I'm thinking. I was just thinking, wow, you brought up prison men. I said, this is how I know they're coming after. This is what I'm saying to myself. This is how I know they were coming out even way back then. This was in 2016, 15 or 16. Yesterday he put out, just, to let me know that we know everything you're thinking. Yesterday he put out, oh, and there's going to be a call for mental prison or whatever. But that's to let me know. Whatever you're thinking, we already know. I can do this for y'all several times a day. But you see, this has already taken 13 minutes. And I want to add the fundraising skit at the end of it. But to probably make it another 5 minutes. I can do this all day, but it's time consuming. Then you got to edit it and wait for it and all that. I could do this all day. If I think hard enough, I could come up with some other stuff yesterday for you. That is mind reading, psychic. I never believed in psychic. I never believed in magic and all. I thought it was all trickery and slick stuff. I've seen some of the magic. I know the psychic every day. They read my mind every day. I'll give you one quick example. This one came real quick. I'm at Walmart yesterday. And yesterday, before I left out, I'm thinking, should I cut the heat on or leave it on? Should I cut the heat on or leave it on? I cut it off. So I left out. Get to Walmart, young white girls. Now, I used to think, boy, they know all my business. No, the demon some kind of way slips into them. This sounds real deep too, but it is. Slips into them and makes them tell me that to let me know where I'm right here. So the two white girls stand and walk right to me, right in front of me, and say, I hope you cut the heat off like I told you. I don't want the heat on when we get back to the apartment. Something to that effect. But for me to know the demonic presence is here, or I don't know how it works. It's poking my arm right now. I don't know how this thing works, man. It's crazy. It sounds crazy. And I can see how people go a little, That's why I try to prove stuff to y'all every day, show y'all stuff every day. Not as much as I used to because I'm doing my own stuff. But I still have, there's tons of footage that I have that it takes too long to upload all the time. Stories just like this. And this has been long enough. Y'all get the gist. Mary called me gifted all the time. I had no idea they were still selling my stuff. Gifted, talented, brilliant, all of that stuff. Alan Clark said, I'm calling the role for my mental prison. Which he's not. He's done it before in the past. Just put stuff up like that to I don't know, rouse me or whatever. But it's all fake. Y'all should go too. Once y'all go, y'all that ain't real, ain't part of this gangster stuff, and know what I'm talking about. Well, if there are any laymen out there, go to the thing and see. Just call it the bluff. He can only do that one little project he put together. I just told y'all that. For a lifetime, they bring up one project, and that's all they got in on. I've written 8 movies. 8 of them. Copywritten, registered, and all stolen. All that stuff on my back wall has been stolen, and several people have made movies off of them. I don't know how many movies you can find with a character black. Besides, Moonlight was the first one. It also had Hello Stranger, which is in part of my soundtrack. Al Green and Barry Jenkins' second movie after Moonlight. If Bill Street could talk, y'all making me keep going. But I also have that in the soundtrack. So they steal all your stuff. And there's one reason when I could tell that I don't know how it works, but this building gets so quiet when I start talking. I don't know if they have any, well, they probably do, but the mind reading is, they don't have a camera there. You can't camera that. I don't know. It's just so deep, man. But yeah, if y'all get a chance, go to the meeting. If y'all ain't real or whatever, go to the tryout or whatever it is. I'm gonna put it up. As soon as I turn my phone on, social media, wherever I go to, right there is going to be the message, the first message. If I wasn't using my phone right now, I could show y'all. Just could turn my phone on and show y'all. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. When I get my camera, I'll be able to do stuff like that for y'all on my phone. If I got the TV on now, though, I can show you some stuff. As soon as I turn it on, they get me as soon as I turn it on. And y'all see how quickly the minutes could go by. I could never do the videos that I want to do. Some of the projects, they have to be in parts. Because I can go on and on. It's a whole lot that I can tell y'all about. And I keep telling y'all. I want to do that. I ain't going to talk about it. I'm just going to do it. This is already almost 20 minutes. And then I'll probably put the skit in separate. I'm not going to put it on this one. Look for a Prison Mentality fundraiser. I think we did it we did it after my voodoo stroke. We did it after that. You couldn't even tell I had a voodoo stroke because I'm so professional in front of the camera. I was a headliner in one of which means the main character, and coming off of the stroke. They hit me with the voodoo stroke while I was the headliner. I missed several rehearsals. whole week because I was in the hospital for a week. When I came out, I was so far behind, but I don't know how I did it. But that tells you who I am. And they did the voodoo. Wow, this is another story time. The whole audience was gangster stalkers, satanic gangster stalkers. And they was hitting me with the hex the whole time. Lines that I knew backwards, forwards, round, backwards, circled, upside down, were stumbling out of my mouth. And I know what that is. That's the voodoo. That's the voodoo. My Uncle Albert used to be so articulate. By the end, he was stuttering so bad it was crazy. Marvin, they took his speech. My father, they shut him down. He couldn't even tell what they was doing to him. He couldn't tell you. All you could see is he was frustrated and wanted to tell you. He ran away 18 times before I stopped counting. He should have stayed. He ran away when he found out they was coming to get him, take him out of his girlfriend's house. See how I can go on tangents? There's so many ways I can go. One story just builds on another. It's crazy. But it's cool. There's nobody to talk to, so I have to, what they call it? I want to say unleash or release, but vent. Yeah, they got you vent. You let it out. You let it out. You talking to a student of psychology. That's why in our community it's hard to go see a therapist because of stigmas and stuff like that. But go see a therapist. Talk to somebody. You see how all this is built in and wants to come out. I just called to tell y'all about two things. I told you. Mary called me brilliant, gifted, talented, way before I brought my stuff out. They were still in it way before I brought my stuff out. Around that time, I think I'd already written 4 screenplays. Those are 8. I stopped getting them copywritten and registered because I didn't know who was stealing my stuff. But I had way more than 8. I'll show y'all every day. Every day. I can write a story in a minute. All it takes is a little bit of thought or a trigger. I take somebody's scene. I'll show y'all what I do. I take the scene and build and make it my own. I can do that all day. She's right about that. Gifted, brilliant, talented, etc. I'm going to stop here though, y'all. I just had to let that out. But it's story time. And I shared some stories with y'all. And trust me, there's plenty more. But I want to make sure they're interesting to y'all. And I stopped there, but look for the fundraiser. We had fun putting that together too. And y'all can see, y'all will see, and y'all can tell. They make a dime because like gangster stalk victims like myself were not allowed to work or have a business or anything like that. I thought about that today too. Many gangster stalkers have been shut down, businesses corrupted, destroyed, taken down, just like Black Wall Street. They can't burn it down, they found a new way. It's called gangster stalking. Nobody's allowed at your business. You're not allowed to work. It's called blackball, putting you on the blackball list. They don't have to drop bombs and burn your community, Black Wall Street down anymore. And we've done our part. All we do is shop with them. That's a whole nother story time. You see, I got tape over this name brand. That's a whole nother story time we will get into. That's for another day. Told you, I'm showing y'all how I can go all every way, which way. But that's another way of branding us, keeping us poor and brainwashed. Name brands. Name brands. Instead of branding us with the iron, this is the new brand, name brand. It keeps you poor and in the ghetto because you want to look like something. Instead of pulling yourself up by your bootstraps. I'm out.